Good morning, rock and metal fans, and welcome to Iridium Rock and Metal Reviews. So today I'm going to do a few reactions and reviews. First one, we're going to go to 1976. So we're going through the years. As you know, we've done 1974, I think, 1975. We're up to 1976, and I've also done some 2019 stuff, and we're going to work our way in, make it a bit more interesting, some modern stuff with some classic stuff. So out of 1976, my review is going to be Rainbow and the song Run with the Wolf from the Rising album, the classic Rainbow Rising album. So I obviously couldn't not do 1976 without doing a song from that. And Run with the Wolf is going to be the track. So you know me, I want to be a little bit different. Obviously, I could have chosen Stargazer off of this, you know, and I love that track. But, you know, I think we should, being like I am, playing the more obscure stuff but still great tracks is the way I like to do it. Although, it doesn't mean in future years I will be playing really popular tracks and the most well-known tracks. But for this one, I'm going to choose Run with the Wolf. I love Dio's vocals on this, as always, and obviously, you know, back then he was really, well, not even in his prime, I'd say. You know, he was still perfecting and honing his skills to become a even greater singer than he probably was back then. But this just showcases what he's all about, you know. And just a couple of minutes on the history of me and Rainbow. So I was obviously only 6 when this album came out, so you know, I wasn't into this album at 6 years old. I think I actually, thinking back, I got into Dio probably when Holy Diver came out, and then obviously went back and listened to Black Sabbath, and even Rainbow Rising was a late one for me, even later than that. It's strange because where I was an 80s kid growing up, I was really into, like, you know, the hair metal stuff and definitely Maiden as well. But, you know, Maiden, Queensryche, hair metal. People don't like to call it hair metal, but, you know, it's the way you're all going to know what it is. I was real 80s, you know, and I never really got into the classic stuff as much, the classic rock, until a lot later on. And Rainbow was, you know, never really at the top of my massively top bands even now. But, you know, there's certain tracks and certain albums that were great. And even in some of their albums, I think that was a problem with Rainbow for me, is consistency through albums. Apart from this one, there probably isn't an album where I go, you know, listen to that all the way through and think every track's great. I think this is obviously a real classic album, and this is probably the exception for me when it comes to Rainbow. But like I said, I was a latecomer, a real latecomer, and it's funny, innit? I think Dio gives such a, whatever project he's on, it's just, he changes it. You know, his voice is so strong and so charismatic that he changes whatever project he's in to be. It's like, it sounds like a Dio album to me. Even when he was with Sabbath, his influence across it changes the band completely, and that's what it did. Obviously, these are the early albums, you know. That was what Rainbow were, but like what Rainbow become was completely different as well, wasn't it? When Dio left, just strange, you know. But nothing bad about that. Rainbow were quite cool because they can change their style so much. I mean, listen to this, Rainbow Rising, and then put it with the Joe Lynn Turner stuff. Completely different, you know. But it's still some of it's really great. But this is the one. So didn't go for the obvious choice, obviously. Run with the Wolf, second track off Rainbow Rising. And here we go. Can't wait to hear this because, yeah, again, some of these I haven't heard for a while. But I remember there's a great vocal on this. So let's get it going. Probably stop it once, halfway through-ish. So here we go. This is Rainbow and Run with the Wolf. I love that stomping rhythm there. Don't hear that a lot now. It's smoothness in his voice.
Change begin. By the end of the rain, the feelings passed again. From the things that snap and bite, an unholy light. There's a hole in the sky. Something evil's passing by. What's to come when the siren calls you go?
Let's just stop it there because we just had the guitar solo there. I think there might be another one on this, but just you know, I love that stomp. This reminds me, now I'm listening to it, of, is it 16th Century Greensleeves off the previous album? I think it was the debut album, wasn't it, from Rainbow? It really reminds me of that stomp that you got. That's just that sort of thing. I love Dio's vocals in this. The way he switches from the smoothness that he's got into that raw, you know, that real raw he's got. Such a powerful voice. And everything, you know, this song might not be up there with the greatest songs ever written. It definitely wasn't the greatest song off of Stargazer. But everything that has Dio's voice over it, it just brings it to another level, you know. The guitar solo there, you know, it wasn't a memorable one. You know, Ritchie Blackmore, you know, I know he's a huge part of rock and metal. Appreciate what he's done. You know, he's done some really great songs, obviously written some great songs, but some of that guitar solo itself wasn't anything special, was it? Just a little picky guitar solo. But I think with this song, it's about Dio on this song. I really do. I think it's about his vocals, and there's so many times that it is, you know, even the Dio solo stuff, where I left alone for years through the 90s and 2000s. Now you go back and listen to that now. Some of those songs weren't great, but, you know, a song that's a 5 out of 10 maybe, songwriting that's 5 out of 10, he lifts it to an 8, you know, just because of his vocals. Unbelievable vocalist, you know, influenced so many over the years, and I just love listening to his voice. It's brilliant. Right, let's listen to the rest of this song.
Something evil
Yes, I've mentioned this before actually with Dio. Have you noticed that? Well, obviously you have. You know, you guys who are Dio fans, is that I love the way he ad-libs parts of the main song at the end. You know, he did it a lot. He used to take snippets of the lines of the lyrics of the song as the song was playing out. It's like a bit like ad-libbing, I suppose, but he obviously wasn't ad-libbing at the time, but it sounds like he's, you know, taking parts of the song. I love it when he does that, and it makes the song so much interesting. I was thinking as that song was playing out, what would it be like with just Ritchie Blackmore's guitar without Dio's vocals going over the top? Look, I'm not having to go at Ritchie Blackmore. Like I said, had a great influence over many bands, and you know, but I'm not a huge fan of Ritchie Blackmore, but I can understand what he's done as a guitarist and as a songwriter. But you just think about what, you know, just put a singer in there, a half, you know, not a singer like Dio, someone with half, you know, not near as good as him. Would this song be as good as it is? I don't know. You know, he's got such a great voice. Like I said, he can lift average songs and make them great, and that's what Dio used to do. Brilliant vocalist, be sadly missed. Right, okay, that's it for 1976. I may do another one out of 1976. I haven't really looked properly yet, but I may not just finish there with that year, because I think there's a few more that might be worth listening to. All right, thanks for listening. If you want to subscribe, please press the red button, bottom right hand corner.